Hey, biology, this is Mr. Hausman. You're going to be taking a look today at a virtual lab about photosynthesis, and you're going to be using newpathonline.com. Most of us used this earlier this fall to do a virtual lab, and we're going to be investigating how the levels of carbon dioxide available to a plant, as well as the amount of sunlight, affect the plant's production of oxygen, right? That's one of the products. So you have to go and go to the link and log in. This is how Sandra, I think, used my computer once, and so her user name is here. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to log in using my own password, and I have to be honest, it's a little bit different than yours. But once you log in,
Attention please, Diane Kofer or someone in the cafeteria, please call extension 1003, please.
there we go. Announcement made. Oh, well. So you go over here to, I go to lesson resources, but you're going to want to find the assignment for today on photosynthesis, and it looks like this. Lots of beeps and buzzes right now. And the one thing that's a little confusing is when you click on the activity and you start it, it gives you a splash screen that looks like this screen should work. But if you click on anything here, nothing is clickable, right? Or it doesn't quite work. If you want to open this in a new window that's bigger and you can see it and read it better, click on Virtual Lab. It's not required to, but you can. Okay, so did you notice we just prepared a plant? It was sitting here on the bench. We cut it with a scalpel, and we put a piece of it in a beaker with a funnel upside down over top of it. Now, why is it standing up? Well, in a minute, we're going to be putting liquid into this beaker. It's going to submerge the plant, and this is an aquatic plant. It lives in lakes and ponds, and it does photosynthesis as long as it's in shallow water. It can't be too deep. So what you're going to do in this experiment is you are going to change the level of carbon dioxide that's in the liquid. So the water solution, maybe it's plain water, maybe it's pond water, but you're going to start with 0% CO2. And the unit here is a little confusing. It's parts per million. That means there are 0 molecules of CO2 out of a million. It doesn't mean there's actually none of it. It just means it's very, very low. And it's 0 out of a million. So then you have to turn on a light source, right? We all know that you need energy. So you might as well go with the lowest light source. And when you're ready to count the oxygen bubbles, because that's the data, we're going to be measuring the output of this plant by how much oxygen it produces. And what you'll need to do is, it's a little bit slow, but it goes pretty quickly, is you measure the number of bubbles. And the clock is going fast because it's accelerated time, but it does have to go all the way up to 4 minutes. So did anyone see Tom Brady play on Sunday? He played a pretty good game. He's going to the Super Bowl. You know, I'm still observing the bubbles, but there are no bubbles to observe. So I'm halfway there. I don't know any good jokes. Not right now. Not on the spot. Okay. Simulated 45 more seconds. Simulated 30 more seconds. And it stops at 4 minutes. And then you would go to your paper sheet and you would write down 0 bubbles of oxygen. Now, you should only really change one variable at a time. And what I might do is I might take 0 parts and go to 15,000 units of light. That's a unit of light called lux. Now, I'll be honest, you're not going to get any bubbles, because if you don't give it CO2, the plant doesn't have one of its key reactants. So I do want to show you what it looks like. Let's go all the way up to 1,200 parts per million, and let's go to medium light. And now when you say go, there's an oxygen bubble. And you got to count it. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. I'm going to stop early because I'm going to run out of time on my recording, but that's how you measure oxygen production during photosynthesis. Have a good luck with it, and let me know if you have any questions.